You come around, I'm choking. My anxiety's controlling. My pain is getting worse. Nobody's here to save me. Somebody come and help me. All around, yeah, I see these faces I don't recognize. All around, people tell me things, but I think they're lies. Every day I look inside the mirror and I realize my inner self's not there no more. He's been dead inside. I don't need your help. I said I'll do it myself. I took the gun off my belt, then aimed it at my own self. I need these drugs, I told you, cause I'm not there to hold you. Fell in love with the old you. I hate when I get your no. Leave me alone to feel all this pain. I needed you, so what more's the game? When you left, it was not the same. I needed you, even as a friend. I will be the one that you call on. I will be the one that you come to. I will be the shoulder that you cry on. I will be the man to protect you. No one else but me can see the pain you're holding. You're not around, I OD. You come around, I'm choking. My anxiety's controlling. My pain is getting worse. Nobody's here to save me. Somebody come and help me. I've been running from these demons, I can't shake them off. I take all of these drugs just to clear my thoughts. You've been running around with I will be the shoulder that you cry on. I will be the man to protect you. No one else but me can see the pain you're holding. You're not around, I OD. You come around, I'm choking. My anxiety's controlling. My pain is getting worse. Nobody's here to save me. Somebody come and help me. I've been running from these demons, I can't
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the Coach Howard Basketball Show. Hey, the music that you just heard on the intro was my son G-Man, who today released his first single called Save Me. He's out in LA. He was here a couple weeks ago at the Play-by-Play. I'm so proud of my son. He's got big things coming. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you the GOAT of AAU basketball, and I know a lot of you know him, Mr. Jerry Watson, the director since 1986 of the All-Ohio Nike EYBL basketball program. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, glad to be here. You know, happy holidays. Hey, we got through a holiday, Christmas and New Year's. Hey, I'm ready to kick it off, and you're ready also, right?
Hey, I'm ready to go. You know, this has been my guy, man, for about 40 years. I've been with Jerry for almost 30 years now, and you know, we're like a salt and pepper, you know what I mean? But this is my guy. I've learned a lot from him, and today, I wanted him on this show because we're going to go over Coach Howard's top 10 teams in Central Ohio and Coach Howard's top 10 high school players right here in Central Ohio. We're going to kick it off with, we're not going to wait. We're just going to get right to it. Jerry, my number 10 team is the Pickerington Central Tigers. Now, hold on. I know that you're about to say, wow, number 10. But I'm going to tell you why I've got them at number 10.
I want to hear it.
They've lost 4 games. First of all, I don't see a team that right now is ready to come in and beat the teams, all the teams that's ahead of them. When I look at this team right here, I don't see a hungry team like I saw last year. I don't see a team that's playing together. I don't see a team that's defending. I don't see that in this Pickerington Central team. I don't know. I'm not sold on them. Everybody that knows me knows that I've been a Tiger for years. I've bled the purple and white for years. But I'm doing this show to be honest with everybody out there. And right now, what I see in the Pickerington Central Tigers is a team that has not yet come together and has not put it together offensively and defensively. And until I see that, then that's where they're going to be in my rankings. What everybody has to understand is this is not the same team as last year. They're missing 2 key pieces. I don't see any leadership on the team. And that's where I am with it. And this is my pick at number 10. Jerry?
Hey, this is how I look at it. You know, like Ali and Frazier used to fight, and you have to actually beat the champion. You don't get decisions over the champion. With the strength of schedule and the losses that they've had, the 4 losses, I don't know if the teams ahead of them could beat those same teams. And then when you look at it in a whole triangle, I just think that at the end of the day, Pickerington Central will be the team to prevail out of this area to go to Dayton and fight for the state championship again.
Now, I one thing I will say is they have the talent to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you've got 6'8" Gavin Headings. You've got Jawan Turner at the point. You've got Markel Johnson. You've got Jonathan Hedgepath, which also had Amari Spivey. And you've got, of course, the man, Devin Royal. But I haven't seen them put it together.
Well, I just think it's early, and like I said, they've played some tough
But how long
teams.
are we going to keep using that early excuse, though?
I don't think we'll have to use it because after the flying to the hoops, they'll just predominantly be playing teams in the area. So I don't think if they're 10, this area is getting ready to blow up this coming week if they're number 10.
Well, it's going to blow up because next week we're going to see who blows out the top 10.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing. You know, if I know that they're not going to stay at 10. I've got them at number 2 in the area. Again, you see a lot of basketball. We both know a lot of basketball. But I just think at the end of the day, with Devin Royal, I don't see teams in this area advancing as far as Pick Central was going to advance.
And let me touch on that for a second before we move on to number 9. We talked about Devin Royal, who's probably going to be up for Mr. Basketball this year, along with Dalen Swain and a couple of other players. But I don't see the same Devin Royal as last year. I don't see that hungry guy. I don't see, he's scoring 20 points or 24, but I don't see that guy that was dominating on the boards last year that was just... Last year, he was hungry. And I don't know, sometimes, you know what they say, we've been doing this a long time. You know, when kids get that, when they commit, they know they're going somewhere, they don't have that hunger no more. Yeah. But if I'm Devin Royal, and if you're watching this, you want to go out on top. You want to win a state championship. You want to get Mr. Ohio basketball. You want to get AP Player of the Year. You want to go out on top. If you're watching this, you have everything it takes to do that. It's time.
Hey, all I can say is Devin Royal's one of the top 2 players in the state, and I just think he'll be able to carry his teammates. I think he has to do a better job of trusting his teammates and making his teammates feel better about how they approach the game together as a team.
What about the leadership part?
I think that has to come. I don't think that's really took center stage. That's an area where he has to check himself in the mirror and say, I'm going to be a leader because I'm Devin Royal.
There it is. All right, here we go. Number 9. The Columbus South Bulldogs. I'm going to tell you something. Last week they weren't ranked, but I'm going to tell you why I ranked them. You know, they're balling, man. You know, and they're winning. They're doing a great job of it. They have Coach Spears always seems to get the best out of his guys. He's got those guys playing tough and physical. I haven't got a chance to get out, but I will be seeing them this week. What do you think about South High School?
Well, I think when you talk about Coach Spears, what he's done with his program is regardless of who he's coaching, he's set a standard for how they play. And over there at 1160 Ann Street on the south side, Coach Spears has that whole school excited about what he wants to do with the program, and he finds a way to continuously win at 8-1. I don't have a problem where you have him ranked.
I'll tell you what, we'll see because they've got Afrocentric coming up. They have Afrocentric coming up here real soon. So we'll find out when them two play each other. My number 8 pick, the Gahanna Lions. Now, here's why I put Gahanna in there, man. You see where they are now. You know, they've only lost a couple of games, and they're playing pretty good. And I think Stives got them starting to come around a little bit. They've lost to a couple of good teams. They lost to Pick Central, but they beat a couple of good teams. What do you think about Gahanna?
Well, you know, I think about Gahanna. Gahanna, one, has always had talent. So they've always had enough talent to get downstate. It's just a matter, you know, they may have gotten tripped up along the way because this area really gets tough around tournament time. What I will say, I watched them play against Westerville South, and they handled them pretty good. Stives really likes this group. He doesn't have the high-profile player like a Sean Jones and some of the kids he's had in the past, like a Nick Ward and guys like that. But this is Stives' kind of team. So let's just see how this carries on throughout the season.
Yeah, well, they've got some tough games coming up as well. Let's look at the number 17. Here's your shocker. Olentangy-Berlin at 8-2.
Hey, I'm excited about this team. They've put together some wins, and then they lost to some people that you're going to show ranked above them, but they beat Delaware, and
They beat Delaware Hayes the other day.
who's 7-3 right now. So Berlin is a team that they need to have my eyeballs and your eyeballs, and just, let's see how they prevail and go up this scale.
From my understanding, they're a team that plays really good together. They can shoot the ball. They defend well. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. And I've got 3 Olentangy teams in my top 10. I don't know what they're feeding them out there in Olentangy, but something's going on.
What goes on with Berlin is they're 8-2, but then it's a collective effort. But they've got one kid that's averaging 20, so that goes to show that they've got a guy that can generate some excitement for the team.
Let's go to number 6. Afrocentric. I couldn't keep Afrocentric out of there. They've only lost a couple of games. I like Afrocentric, man. I mean, they've got one of the top, they've got maybe the 1 or 2 best player in the state in Dalen Swain. They've got a nucleus of really good players. They're tough. They're hard-nosed. Mike Bates does a great job of coaching them, and I look for them to be down in Dayton for the state championship.
Well, they will be down in Dayton. I've got them a little higher. I've got them a little higher than you. I've got them at 4, but, we're not too far off. 4 can be 6 and 6 can be 4. So I like where they're at. They got Dalen Swain, his guys that are with him, his tandem, his teammates. They're really good. They got the little Fuller kid who's a defensive stalwart. They're going to be there at the end. They'll be in Dayton for sure. If they're not, then whoever beats them is going to win it.
Hey, listen, we're going to take a break real quick, but we're going to come back with Coach Howard's top 5 in just a minute.
Hello, I am Annie J. Ross Womack, the Executive Director of the Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, and I'm here to talk to the parents and student athletes about a very important topic. The NCAA has instituted different standards for all divisions of student athletes. Before you can play sports in any college or university, you must present a negative trait status or hemoglobin status documentation. Your hemoglobin status is taken at birth with the newborn screening. And what they do is they run your blood for any abnormality or any birth defect. There are thousands of newborn screening birth defects in this country. For more information about sickle cell disease, sickle cell trait testing, you can call our offices at 614-228-0157. Or you can visit us via web at ohiosicklecell.org.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach Howard Basketball Show. Matter of fact, I just got a little tidbit of information. The Afrocentric South game is January the 10th. That's going to be a barn burner right there. And then that's going to determine who's going to kind of take that lead over there in the South which may, Jerry, lead up to the South champion to go to the City League game. What do you think about that game coming up?
Well, it's a good game, and since Afrocentric went last to the City League Championship, all South has to do is being a dead heat tie, and South represents the City League South for the city of Columbus.
That's going to be a barn burner. Right now, with further ado, we're going to get to the number 5 team in Coach Howard's top 10. Westerville North.
Hey, I like this team. Scrappy finished off the year last year. They got the transfer kid Navarian from Walnut Ridge. They've got shooters. They've got some scrappy underclassmen. This is a good ranking for them to see if they can either rise or hold on to that spot.
Well, we're going to find out because everybody's about to go into the second half of the season. They've got one of the best shooters in Central Ohio in Carter Reese, who can really stroke the ball. He's a very, very good player. It's going to be interesting to see what Westerville North does moving into the second half of the season. But I'm going to move on, and we're going to go to the number 4 team right now. Bishop Ready. Jerry, I told you the other day I love this team. I watched them play over at Harvest Prep. This team, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen Bishop Ready, they have size at every position. They're not small at the guard spot. They're very tough. They rebound the basketball. They defend well, and they are very disciplined. They play great as a team. Jerry, what do you think of what our coaches, our good friend, is doing over there?
Hey, doing a great job. This is a team, and again, I call them kind of like what they're doing, like the Monsters of the Midway, the Sultans of the Slam. They've got some athletic kids over there, and they're not just your normal, Catholic team. They've got some athleticism. They play well. They shoot the ball well, and they love playing together. Again, Tony Basuti's been around the block a few times, and this is his kind of team.
Hey, the one thing that I like about this team is, and I believe this team right now could play with some of the Division I talent in Central Ohio, and that's why I've got them ranked so high. But I've seen them just dominate. I mean, they dominated the glass. They pushed that rock. They don't walk the ball up the court. They get that ball and go up the court. Do you see a team like that being beat by anybody else in this region in Division II?
I don't see it. I look for them, whatever region, whether they go to Athens or the Dayton region, I look for them to be close to getting to the state finals. They've got it all, and it's going to take somebody out of the area to beat them. I don't think nobody in this area will beat them to stop what they're trying to accomplish.
Now, before I get to my number 3 pick, I want to ask Coach Watson here. Jerry, who do you have 10th through 4?
Okay, I've got, again, at 10, I've got Berlin and Columbus Academy.
No,
Columbus
you can't
Academy.
have 2. You got to have
Well,
one.
I got to have 2, okay, because at 9-0, I want to give Columbus Academy some respect, okay? At 9, Quack does a great job. I had Newark at 9, Westerville North at 8, Dublin Jerome at 7. I had Reedy at 6, and I had Olentangy Liberty at 5.
Okay. Who'd you have at number 4?
At number 4, I had Afrocentric.
Okay. Good. All right, here we go. Who's Coach Howard's number 3? Olentangy Liberty. So this is one thing you got to understand, man. You got to understand that Liberty right now, this Friday, they go up against Hilliard Davidson, and they've got to return. Now look at what they've done without even having Tyler Crop. They don't even have him. And he's one of the better players in the area. 6'7", 6'8" kid that can dominate a game, that can shoot the ball, that can rebound the ball, that's physical up under the bucket. He's coming back, and they don't even have him,
Right.
and they're playing the way they're playing.
Well, they've done it because Nossman has a system, and it's just a matter of who fits in when it's their turn. Tyler Crop, one of the top sophomores in the area at 6'7", multi-dimensional. When they get him back, they're 10-1 without him, okay? So when they get him back, and they're coming off of 3 wins in Florida where they just kind of destroyed some teams. So when you get a 6'7" college prospect back in your lineup, you got to figure that things are going to blossom even more.
When I look at some of these teams, Jerry, and I don't even have Dublin Jerome because they've lost 4 games. They're not even in there right now. You've got some other teams. But if the tournament was to start today, hey, that seeding would be crazy right now.
Oh, it's crazy.
If it was to start today, that seeding would be crazy. If right now, before I get to my last 2 picks, right now, Jerry, who is your sleepers that's just kind of stepped out and said, okay, we're here. You better take notice because we're coming.
Well, I think, again, teams like, Berlin, I think that they're a sleeper team. You got to watch out for Delaware. Grove City would be a sleeper at 6-3. I mean, I had them up there the last time we had a show, but they're right there. Some of their games coming up will kind of determine their fate of whether they belong or not.
It's going to be interesting, man. I'm excited about this second half of the season. I know you and I are going to take some trips and go watch some games down in Cleveland. It's some big-time basketball going on in the state.
Oh, yeah.
But right here in Central Ohio, man, it's
It's wide open. Like I said, Division 2 and 3, and it's wide open. I mean, we're going to have some great representation in the regionals.
And I want everybody to know that Yamo Media will be right in the thick of things. We're going to do some Game of the Week live, and I'll make sure that you continue to tune in to Yamo Media Columbus. It's going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. Right now, we're going to go to my number 2 pick. Pickerington North. You gotta give Pickerington North, they've got a team full of crazed dogs, man. Those guys, they play hard. Coach Bates got them playing physical. They play good team basketball. They move that ball. And you got a guy running that team in Arness Lawson that, hey, he makes that team go. They don't have a bunch of size, but they hit that glass, and they're very athletic.
I'll tell you, Coach Bates has had a lot of good teams out of Pickerington North, but he and I talked last week, and he's really excited about this team. He's excited how the guys are buying in. He's excited how hard they're playing. And then again, like I said, he's got a catalyst in Arness Lawson, who is probably one of the premier sophomores along with Tyler Kropp in Central Ohio.
I really like this team. I'm looking forward to watching them tomorrow night against Reynoldsburg, who's, they've won a couple of games in a row. And they're young, but they're very athletic. And it's at Reynoldsburg. It's going to be a great atmosphere. If you get an opportunity and you're not going to any other high school games, get out to Reynoldsburg High School tomorrow night. It's going to be a great game with Pickerington North. And, Reynoldsburg could upset Pick North tomorrow.
Andy Moore's known for that. He's beat Pick Central. He's beat Pick North. But I had North as the number 1 team in the area. So we don't really differ, okay? Tomorrow's game is kind of like a capsule game. If they knock that off, then no telling where their confidence is going to skyrocket to.
And my number 1 team in the area is Olentangy Orange. Jerry, they was my number 1 team last year, and I'm going to tell you right now, they'll stay right there until somebody beats them. I'm telling you, this team right here, man, this team is tough across the board. I love the way Coach Cato has them playing. They're solid. They've got a freshman coming in off the bench and Levi Davis that's one of the top in the state, but he's solid. Don't give you a whole lot of points. He don't turn the ball over. He plays solid. And then you've got, that team is just very well put together. And I like what they're doing. And right now, to me, I've seen several teams. To me right now, I think they're playing the best right now. But that would be a great game with them and Pickerington North. I would love to see that one.
Well, I tell you, I like Orange. Again, I had them at number 2. Kalo, again, there's coaching genes all through that family. And I just question their strength of schedule. Like, they haven't played the teams that a Pick Central has played, and I would like to see how they would fare against those kind of teams. 1 or 2, somewhere in the top 5, I think they belong there, but I'm not sold on putting them at number 1, and they just had an injury to one of their.
Well, they had it 4 games ago, and they're still winning.
They're still winning, but I'm just saying they had a key
and he'll
injury.
Be back.
Yeah, they're going to need him.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not sold on them at 1. If that's where you want them, I can live with it because I got them at 2. So they're undefeated. You can't question that. but I really want to see when it really gets to the meatloaf and grind time, what they really bring.
Well, next week you're going to see the rankings come out from several different sports medias, and it'll be interesting to see what the Central Ohio rankings are, how close they are to my rankings or even your rankings for that.
I think that you're going to have some Central Ohio teams.
I'm not talking about the state rankings.
I'm talking about the state rankings. You're going to have some Central Ohio teams in there.
What teams do you think will be in there?
I would say Orange probably would be in there. Pickerington North, they're going to need to be undefeated at the time those guys sat down at the table and scramble who's going to be 1 through 10 or 11. But, they should be in there. If they're not in there, then the respectability isn't really bought in with the people that's voting.
Jerry, let's talk about what team right now do you think can make the deepest run that nobody else may think they can?
Well, again, you got to look at Pick North. I mean, you got to look at a team like Orange in Division I. You got to look at Reedy in 2. So those are teams that come to mind that can make, dominant runs in the tournament. I just think at the end of the day, again, and if I'm wrong, tell me at the end of the day, I really like Pickerington Central. I just like them because of what they've already accomplished. They've already have a state championship. I just don't think when it's game time, game for game, I don't think nobody can outplay Devin Royal and his teammates.
I have picked Central at number 10, but I do believe that if Pick Central turns it around with some things that they've got to fix over there, if they fix those things, I believe Pick Central could be right there. And the reason I know that is because they've been through the fire. You know how me and you always talk about teams, they've been through the fire. They've been under the bright lights. Yeah. They played in front of thousands. Yeah. That's not big for them. But to get there, you got to fix some things and you got to come together as a team, because Devin Royal can score 25 or 26 points a game, which he has been doing, and they're still 7-4. So it doesn't matter. You've got to get contribution from everybody else. They haven't really gotten anything from Jawan Turner this year.
Yeah, and I think he'll come around. I think what has to happen with them is they have to define everybody's role. I think right now, other than Royal, nobody really knows their role. Like Jawan Turner hasn't bought into playing like he played down the stretch when they won the state title. He's got to turn his game around and be more of a playmaker and assume some of that leadership responsibility that we were talking about earlier in the show.
My thing is this. If you feel like you're the best team, then bring it together and play like you're the best team.
Yeah, I think they will. I just think at the end of the day, when it's one game at a time, I think that they'll end up on top at the end.
But you have to.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. Yeah. You have to beat the good teams.
Right.
They haven't beat one yet.
Well, this is the thing about Pickerington Central. They're undefeated around here. They're undefeated in this area. Nobody in this area has beat the defending state champion. So now if you want to take their 4 losses again, like I said earlier, can Olentangy Orange beat the 4 teams that Pick Central lost to? If Pick Central played Olentangy Orange's record, Pick Central would be 10-0.
It's easy to say that.
No, that's facts. They would, if they played Orange, flip-flop the records. Let's start over. Let Orange play Spires. Let Orange play the teams that Pick Central has played. Orange may coach a good games because Kalos a solid coach. They couldn't beat those teams.
And maybe not, okay? I'm not going to say they can't, but maybe not. But do you give them a better game? Do you, you can say, well, okay, they should have beat Centerville. If Devin Royal hits some free throws, the game is over.
Oh, so it's over, 1.4 seconds.
But here's my thing on that. To me, Centerville is not the team they were last year. Neither is Central. But I think the Central should have beat Centerville easily by 10. That's my opinion. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
But
when Devin has to get help. Right. Devin has to have other people step up and help him. You can have a team that has, every team really has a star.
Right.
Okay? Even in college or the NBA, they have a superstar on their team. But if that guy can score 27 points a game, but if he doesn't have any help from the supporting cast, if he's scoring 27, grabbing 8 rebounds or whatever, but nobody else is grabbing 5 rebounds, nobody else is scoring in double figures, nobody else is doing anything, turning the ball over, they're not defending as a team, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But we can easily say they're going to be there, and I believe they can.
Yeah.
But are they going to be able to beat, when its time comes, are they going to be able to beat those teams? You know, Olentangy Liberty is a good team. Bradley's a good team we haven't talked about. Orange is a good team. You've got these teams that are very disciplined, that moves that ball, that runs that offense, that defends. A lot of teams around here are just like the team they lost to out of Kentucky.
Right.
Very, very similar.
Yeah. But, you know, you can't, again, Olentangy Orange and some of these other teams. Liberty has been very solid in the tournament, okay? But Olentangy Orange does not have established tournament pedigree. And that's what I really question at the end of the day. When they get in that oven and it's really hot, can they stay in there?
Hey, we'll find out. You know, this is, Jerry Watson, he will come at you and he will give you those little lines, man. I tell you, it's been great talking about the top 10. We're going to take a short commercial break, but when we come back, it's going to get deeper because we're going to talk about Coach Howard's top 10 players.
Oh, I'm excited. This is what we're here for.
Yes.
Because where there's good teams, there's good players.
You already know. So we'll be back after this and talk about Coach Howard's top 10 players and see what Coach Watson has to say on that.
Hello, I am Annie J. Ross Womack, the Executive Director of the Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, and I'm here to talk to the parents and student athletes about a very important topic. The NCAA has instituted different standards for all divisions of student athletes. Before you can play sports in any college or university, you must present a negative trait status or hemoglobin status documentation. Your hemoglobin status is taken at birth with the newborn screening. And what they do is they run your blood for any abnormality or any birth defect. There are thousands of newborn screening birth defects in this country. For more information about sickle cell disease, sickle cell trait testing, you can call our offices at 614-228-0157. Or you can visit us via web at ohiosicklecell.org.
E.E. Ward Moving and Storage Company is a nationally recognized leader in the relocation and transportation industry. They offer comprehensive services including commercial and household moving, delivery services, and logistics. E.E. Ward has received numerous awards for his high level of service, including the 2021 North American Van Lines Agent of the Year. For more information, please visit www.eeward.com and follow the company on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. That's www.eeward.com.
Need help with digital marketing? Yamo has what you need to optimize your digital engagement and take your business to that next level. Yamo is a full-service media collective that offers multiple services, including digital marketing, to optimize your company's success. These services include promotional and posting assistance, social media analysis, as well as market analysis. If interested, please reach out through the website or the email featured below.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach Howard Basketball Show. Listen, I am so excited by the news that I just received about 2 minutes ago that Yamo Media, we will be covering the Afrocentric South game, and yours truly will be there to be the commentator for that game. We're going to be live doing that game between Afrocentric and South. I'm so excited about that. I know you'll be there,
Oh, I'm in the house.
and it's going to be great. That game right there is going to be a big game to determine who is going to be the South champion, I believe, because I don't believe whoever wins this game will lose another game over in the South.
Well, they shouldn't. There's one spoiler team in the South on a given night because they've got an electric guard by the name of Dom Akins. They could cause some problems to determine who is going to take the city. But outside of that, there's nobody that can really challenge South or Afrocentric to curtail their way to the City League Championship.
I'm excited about this top 10 that we're getting ready to talk about. As everybody knows, I don't put them in by number one, number two, because if you're a basketball fan and you're watching, you already know who the number one, number two, or players are in Central Ohio. I go by alphabetical order. It keeps me out of hot water, but
Well,
so
I think it's a good concept because at the end of the day, when we reveal what you're getting ready to reveal, people can make their own predictions as to who's who.
well, let's get right to it. Let's look at Coach Howard's top 10 players in Central Ohio. Okay, we've got it up on the screen. There we go. Let's just start at the top. Arnett Lawson from Pick North, who's making that engine run, as we spoke about. Arnett Lawson.
Hey, this kid's the kid he's been in the All-Ohio program for a while, so I've been able to witness his progress since about the fifth or sixth grade. I love what he's doing. He's doing a great job over there. He's got them undefeated. He's probably one of the top, 10 sophomores in the state, has established himself definitely as one of the leaders of the sophomores in Central Ohio. And so I'm excited about him being mentioned in this group.
Well, I think he is one of the tops.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he plays, and that ship kind of runs through him. I was talking to Coach Bates the other day, and he said, hey, he just kind of makes this ship run. He's the captain.
he's the captain.
He keeps it going. Cabe Norris out of Hilliard Bradley, I like him because, he's tough. He's just like his brothers. He runs the floor. He can shoot the ball. He runs the offense. He's real crafty. Give me your thoughts on him.
I like Cade. He can shoot the ball again. He's got two brothers playing at the college level. His dad is a hard-nosed, no-nonsense coach. I think him being mentioned in the top 10, he's definitely worthy of that by what he's done so far with his body of work.
This next guy, man, he really kind of, I'm not going to say he carries his team, but he's the glue.
Yeah.
He does it all. He can get to the bucket. He can shoot the lights out of that rock. And he's a leader, and his stock is rising. Carter Reese from Westerville North. What's your thought on Carter?
I like Carter Reese. He can shoot the ball. He's shown me that he can get downhill a little better than he has in previous years. And the fact that he can stick to three, I think he's got a great body to work with teammates, and coach does a decent job. I look for them to be interesting. He's an interesting player. Want to see him kind of maybe have a night where he hits 7 or 8 threes and, really get them college coaches a buzz in their eyes in his direction.
Our next pick is, after Carter, we have, let's see who we've got up here. Oh, there we go. I like that. So we've got Chase Walker. Now, listen, nobody can stop him. He's a 6'8", 6'9" kid that can just score around the bucket, kind of does what he wants. He is kind of the train that makes St. Charles go. Going to Illinois State with Coach Peden. What do you think about Chase?
I think he's the Shaq of Central Ohio. Definitely skilled around the bucket, hard to guard. He's got to get his conditioning in a little better shape, but he has been working on that. But I think he can be a decent college player, and he'll be a 1,000-point scorer. And like I said, he's hard to guard around that bucket at 300 pounds.
I think what's going to happen with him, and I've talked to Coach Peden, I think what's going to happen with him is once he gets down there, they're going to put him on a diet. And I'm going to tell you right now, you remember I'm telling you this.
Yeah.
When they get done with him, he'll be an NBA player because he's got all the tools.
Oh, he's got it all. I mean, there ain't nothing he can't do.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll look at, we've got after Chase, we've got, of course, Dalen Swain. What more can you say about him? He's 6'8", can handle the ball, smooth as silk, kind of reminds me of George Gervin. You remember George Gervin, right?
Oh, the Iceman.
The Iceman. That's who Swain kind of reminds me of, the Iceman. He can shoot the ball, gets to the cup. I mean, he's real smooth with it. Dalen Swain.
I love this kid. Now, when we just kind of, mentioned NBA, and this kid's going to Xavier, Swain has NBA upside. And I like the fact that Coach Bates is letting him have that freedom of handling the basketball at his size, because that's only going to captivate interest at the next level and pay off dividends.
Well, when I talk to Xavier, they're excited about him coming in. They talk about the plans that they have for him, and he's going to be up top handling that ball, and they're looking forward to it. I think when he gets to that level and he sees how tough and physical it is, I think his game is going to accelerate. And once his game accelerates, I'm telling you right now, oh man, he's a problem.
Oh, he like I said, every year he improves. Like I said, I saw him against Walnut Ridge, and he was very, very athletic and was magnificent in the way he was doing it.
Well, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing them here real soon. And then the next one is Devin Royal. Without saying, Devin Royal, to me, I expect him to have a good career at Ohio State. But like I said earlier, I would like to see Devin Royal go back to the Devin Royal of old, get focused, really get focused, and lead his team right now. I think that's what they need. They need a focused Devin Royal yeah, it's okay scoring 25, but get everybody else involved. Like you said, Coach, get everybody else involved and just take leadership and take hold of this team and say, this is my team. Let's go. Let's cut out all the BS. And from here on out, this second half of the season, let's play basketball on both ends of the court. What you think about that?
I think Devin Royal has the capability to do everything that you mentioned. I just think what people are really missing is, like, last year he had a bookend, Sonny Styles, who kind of graduated early.
And was the leader of that team.
And was the leader of that team with the way he played and taking on serious responsibility on the defensive end. And nobody's really accepted that role, which has kind of made it a little stymie, which has resulted in a 7-4 record. But I think once they sit down and really look at what they can do, a lot of the components are still there, but it's going to all boil down to Juwan Turner. He has to be that guy that he was last year when they captured it all. And I haven't seen that this year. I think that he's trying to do too much at times instead of just running the team and looking like a leader.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I know they've got a couple of games. I know we've talked a lot about Pick Central and deservingly so. I mean, they're the state champions, and they were my pick and everybody's pick to be the number one team in the state, and the number one team in Central Ohio, and it hasn't panned out that way. And I'm still looking to see that hunger in that team, but they've got a real couple of tough games this month, because they go down and fly into the hoop and they play Cathedral. It's got our guy, Xavier Booker, down there.
That's a big one.
And I'm one of the top teams in the country.
That's a big one.
And that's going to be a tough game. Then they turn right back around and come back the next weekend at our play-by-play, and they've got Afrocentric, that's going to be a game, man.
That game.
And Afrocentric has not forget about what Central did last year and coming into their place.
Right. That game is going to be crazy. Afrocentric and Pick Central. And that game's going to be played where?
At Pickerington Central, at the play-by-play. We just had it a couple weeks ago at Nationwide Arena, but we're coming back as Jeremy Treatment does every year. This year is every year is usually at Ohio Dominican, but for some reasons that they have some things going on over there, we're going to be over at Pickerington Central High School for the play-by-play this year.
Yeah, if you're a basketball fan in Central Ohio, that's where you want to be, because if you want to gauge what the action really is, that game will demonstrate it.
So they've got them two tough games. So we're going to see.
Yeah.
I mean, those games are going to be real tough for them. And I don't see nobody else beating them. I think they can run the table. but you've got those 2 tough games. And going down there playing Cathedral, you know, everybody is going to be able to really see where they are.
All eyes on you.
College coaches too.
Say my name, say my name.
That's our spot.
Yes.
We sit in the same place every year.
Every year. VIP.
Okay, let's take a look at this players list again. Listen, this next guy, crazy. I mean, this guy is so electrifying. He's so quick with it. I mean, he does everything, and he's, 5'10", and nobody is able to stop him. Nobody. Dom Akins. Come on, man.
Hey, this is the guy. Statistically, nobody in the area can touch him with what he's done, scoring and assisting and running the team. Doesn't have all the help that other guys have, supporting cast, but Dom Akins is the real deal. And if you watch Damian Lillard in the NBA, watch Damian and watch Dom. And there's not
good.
a lot of difference at the high school.
Right there.
He puts it in the bucket, and his 3-ball has improved. You know, he's in the gym every morning at 6, 5, getting up shots. I always said there's nothing better than the results of your hard work.
Listen, I talk to college coaches every day of my life. And 80% of them ask me about Dom Akins. Can he play at this level? Can Dom Akins play at this level? And you know what I tell them? What you think I tell them?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You doggone right.
I'm just telling you, and I don't know if people can understand this terminology, but he's a bankrupt version of Damian Lillard.
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give Coach Jerry Watson a trivia question right here, and let's see if he can get this. Jerry, we had a guy that played for us several years ago that has to remind you of Dom Akins, that Dom Akins has to remind us of him, that played in our program. Who is that guy?
Oh, you got to put him in the ranks of Drew Lav.
And who else?
Greg Simpson.
No, who else?
Sean Jones.
Keon Johnson.
Keon Johnson. Man, how did I not get one of the best?
Keon Johnson. Let me tell y'all about this kid real quick. Keon Johnson was 5'10", maybe 5'9".
Maybe 5'7".
Listen, same kind of player, and everybody said he couldn't play at the next level. Went down to Winthrop? Went down to Winthrop, came from our program, went down to Winthrop and had a hell of a 4-year career down there.
Hey, if you're a Google expert, hey, he's in a lot of categories with the records down there.
Yes, he is. And everybody said he couldn't play it. Same built, little stockier, like a Sean, little stockier. But that's another guy.
Oh, we've had some great small guards.
We have in our program. I mean, that's another guy, Sean Jones. And I watch him almost every night on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And he's playing big minutes down in Marquette, and he's playing well. Playing well. By the way, hey, we love you, Sean
Jones.
so let's keep going. Jesse Burris, now you probably haven't seen much of him, and I haven't either, but he's a guy that if you looked at him, you wouldn't even think he's a basketball player. Yeah. But the kid can flat out play.
And the thing about him, hey, he can play inside and step out and hit the 3-ball. I mean, he's a versatile guy. And he kind of leads Dublin. He's a reason why they're 7-3.
So the next one is Jordan Edwards. I like him. I'm going to tell you why I like him. He's 6'5". He never stops. His motor just continues to go. He can shoot the 3. He can shoot the mid-range. He can get to the cup. He defends. He rebounds. He does it all for a team. And I really like Jordan Edwards.
He's relentless. I mean, you can't say anymore. They're 10-0. I mean, they wouldn't be 10-0 if he didn't add what he added every night. Just want to see him a little more myself. I haven't seen him enough to be sold, but he's got his team 10-0.
Ryan Nutter. I mean, what more can you say about it? Here's a kid, man, that just, when I went to watch Dublin Jerome, he was injured, but he still played, and he still played hard for the whole game. Wasn't able to do all the things that he usually does because he was playing injured. But this kid, Jerry, this kid is tough. He really is the catalyst of that team. He gets to the bucket. He can shoot the ball. I think he can play against and with anybody in the city.
Ryan Nutter's good. I mean, he's a kid. Like I said, he was in the All-Ohio program at one time in the earlier grades, and he's always been tough. High basketball IQ, defends, going to do the right things, to play the right way. So, hey, I'm glad that he ended up at a school like Marshall.
Hey, listen, real quick. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll come back to close out the show with a couple interesting games coming up this week. Hey, man, I'm loving you being here.
Oh, this is big. I mean,
this is it.
You know, hey, what can you, talking basketball, this is what we do. It's a natural.
We'll be right back.
Hello, I am Annie J. Ross Womack, the Executive Director of the Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, and I'm here to talk to the parents and student athletes about a very important topic. The NCAA has instituted different standards for all divisions of student athletes. Before you can play sports in any college or university, you must present a negative trait status or hemoglobin status documentation. Your hemoglobin status is taken at birth with the newborn screening. And what they do is they run your blood for any abnormality or any birth defect. There are thousands of newborn screening birth defects in this country. For more information about sickle cell disease, sickle cell trait testing, you can call our offices at 614-228-0157. Or you can visit us via web at ohiosicklecell.org.
E.E. Ward Moving and Storage Company is a nationally recognized leader in the relocation and transportation industry. They offer comprehensive services including commercial and household moving, delivery services, and logistics. E.E. Ward has received numerous awards for his high level of service, including the 2021 North American Van Lines Agent of the Year. More information, please visit www.eeward.com and follow the company on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. That's www.eeward.com.
Need help with digital marketing? Yamo has what you need to optimize your digital engagement and take your business to that next level. Yamo is a full-service media collective that offers multiple services, including digital marketing, to optimize your company's success. These services include promotional and posting assistance, social media analysis, as well as market analysis. If interested, please reach out through the website or the email featured below.
Hey, welcome back to the final round of the Coach Howard Basketball Show. It's been a blast, man. It's been a blast to have my partner of almost 30 years. We've been knowing each other 40-some years, Jerry Watson. Jerry, I know you got some big things going on this year with the All-Ohio Nike basketball program. But right now it's high school season, man.
I love high school because it leads up to the AAU excitement.
Well, these kids, they're playing high school and they go straight into AAU.
Hey.
It's big recruiting time for us as well because we're trying to get the best in the state. But if you want to play for the best, you have to be with the best. And that's the EYBL Nike basketball. But listen, some big games coming up this week, right? Olentangy, Orange, and Bradley, real quick.
I like this game because I think what it does, it tells us if they're for real at 10-0.
Okay. There it is.
That's what it tells us. So
we'll find out.
Bradley, that guy, he's like a chess player. So he's right. He's sitting around now trying to create strategy. He wants to beat them because he probably doesn't think they should be 10-0.
Okay, I like that. Tomorrow night, big one at Reynoldsburg. Pick North going into the crazy Reynoldsburg atmosphere. It's going to be crazy over there.
That's going to be crazy. Reynoldsburg is a team that everybody anticipated their record being better than it is at this present time. Pick North going over there 9-0, a cross-rival road game. It's going to be crazy. That might be the game I'm going to. I'm not sure yet.
Well, if you're not there, I'll be there representing. This is going to be a good one because Waterson just had a big win against the undefeated Bishop Hartley team. So Bishop Reedy goes into Waterson Friday. What do you think about that one?
Oh, that's going to be a barn burner. coach over at Waterson, he just does a great job. Great coach, great strategy. It's a Catholic school game, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be up and down. Not a lot of possessions where you get quick baskets. You got to work for everything you get. It's going to probably be a first 1 to 52 wins. Those games it's going to be strategic.
Now, this may not be a big game, this next one, but it's Olentangy Liberty going up against Hilliard Davidson, but it's the return of Tyler Crop. And I'm excited about that. I talked to the young man. He's excited. He's going to play limited minutes, but he's back. And it's going to be interesting to see how Olentangy moving forward with him, how more dangerous they are.
Well, I like Olentangy. And again, like I said, they're bringing him back. And that just adds more to the Rector scale. Davidson is also a team that you got to go in there and really beat them. So at 10-1, you need this kind of victory.
Grove City at Gahanna. You've got two teams trying to find their identity. Gahanna's only got a couple losses. Grove City's got 3 or 4 losses. Both teams, this is a big game for them because they both need this win.
Well, again, Gahanna's was kind of at the bottom of your rankings. Actually, they got a nod over Pick Central. Like Gahanna, okay? Like I said, it's Stives kind of team, okay? Grove City, this game is crucial. And hopefully they got something on the wall saying, do I really belong? And this game is going to determine whether they belong.
It will. To close out the show, Saturday at Pick North High School, Coach Bates, as he usually does, he's got something nice going on. It's got 4 games that day. You got Independence and Central Crossing. You've got Thomas Worthington going up against Columbus South. You've got Gahanna playing Walnut Ridge.
Oh,
it's a sleeper game.
Now that's some excitement there. I guarantee you that game is going to be up and down.
And then you've got Northland with one of the most exciting freshmen in Central Ohio and in the state going up against Pick North. Before we go, talk about the freshmen.
Oh, King Kendrick, he's got people talking about Trey Burke. You know, Trey Burke really didn't play a lot of varsity as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? He was on the varsity, but he doesn't have the kind of role of King Kendricks, and they're excited. This kid can flat out play. He can handle. He got the crossover. He got the layup game. Needs to work a little bit on his perimeter shot, but he is a phenomenal freshman player. And again, Tahan is trying to reboot that program, and they set at the top of the City League North, which they haven't done in a while. But like I said, I love King Kendricks. KK, remember the name. He can play.
King is his name. Hey, listen, another great show with my man, my best friend. We've been together a long time. I thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's always a blast.
We're going to do it again here real soon. Jerry Watson. My name is Coach George Howard, and I'm so excited to be able to come to you each and every week and talk about high school basketball. Next week, I will also have my new top 10 teams, and then we'll come back in a couple of weeks with the top 10 players. My guy here will be coming back with me in a couple of weeks as well, as we'll go over everything and talk about who's done what.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, my thing about, like I said, about rankings, where we expound on it, is that everybody that looked at this, right? If you don't like where you're ranked, show us you should be ranked where you want to be ranked.
And for the ones that are ranked low, that feel like they should be higher, what should they do?
Hey, they got to get some wins.
That's right.
Against some good opponents.
There you go, man. All right, so there's the top 10 real quick. Can I see it again real quick? Number 10, Pick Central. Number 9, South. Number 8, Gahanna. Number 7, Olentangy Berlin. Number 6, Afrocentric. Give me the next 5.
Oh, you got Westerville North. You got Bishop Reedy. You got Olentangy Liberty. You got Pickerington North. And then you got the Olentangy Orange.
And there it is. Thank you so much. Don't forget, once again, myself along with Yamo Media, Columbus. We will be at the Afrocentric South game. It's going to be a blast. And I'm so excited to even be a part of this family. Look forward to seeing you next week. God bless you. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ta-ta.
Anxiety's controlling. My pain is getting worse. Nobody's here to save me. Somebody come and help me. All around, yeah, I see these faces I don't recognize. All around, people tell